sit back, relax, and get ready because this is Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. I am April, and this is my mother,
Sherry.
And we are your dynamic duo in uncovering and unearthing things that we've never talked about and that we think could be a good idea if we did. So,
yes, I agree. Sounds good.
In a nutshell, that's us.
Well put.
And I could do my mime impression of being like in a nutshell, but nah.
No. Then I'd have to come up with one too. And
this is not performance art, people.
Okay,
this
there you
go. Coffee chat.
Yeah.
So we have been concentrating on transformative topics this year, things that can help us be better women, help us be better people. So we've kind of there's been a lot of behind the scenes experimentation of different things going on this year with regards to health tools and gadgets and whatnot. So last week we talked about the idea and practice of grounding, and I had been using grounding mats, grounding yoga mats, bed mats, things to help improve my connection to the earth and improve lots of different health things, which I think is still really working. So just to give a update, I feel less inflamed and my back pain is gone. So,
wow.
Yeah. It's it's been kind of amazing. It's only been a little over a month, so it's who knew?
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely power in nature, and I'm looking forward to the time when I can have some grass that does not have little lizards in it so that I can lay in it, actually.
Yeah, and no chemicals.
And no chemicals, being sprayed every day,
Are there lizards on islands? Most likely.
Well, sure. I'm sure there are, but I mean, not these, probably not these. They're probably bigger lizards, right?
Yeah, iguana types.
Yeah.
They fall from the trees when it gets cold.
Yeah. Kimono dragons, that kind of thing, you know? But these little mites are like tiny, bitty little, there's an ecosystem going on in there that we have no idea.
That is right.
I imagine it's like Bug's Life, where they have like their own little towns set up in the grass and there's like a market going on. And if I were to step in it, it would be like life-changing for those lizards. So.
That's right. Yeah. Let alone if a big toe ended up in it.
Right,
probably freak out.
Crush your temple. I'm sorry.
Yes. Right.
Whoops. So anyway, this time we have been talking about a couple of tools that we use in our household for nervous system regulation. And so we thought it would be a good idea to talk about why we feel the need to regulate our nervous systems and then what we're doing about it. Is that fair?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So just so everybody's clear on the nervous system is the system that controls our stress response. So that's your fight or flight. And you have two different functions. There's sympathetic nervous system, which is the one that's like pushes your cortisol to the limit, allows you to outrun that lion and get to safety or not, RIP, depending on how you've been working out. Anyway.
Yeah.
But then the parasympathetic nervous system is the switch that takes you from 100 to 5. And that is the area that is calm, relaxed, it's balanced, your cortisol levels are back to normal regulation. Everything is functioning at a nice, calm, stress-free level. at that point.
Okay.
There is a plane flying over your house.
Yes. I was going to pretend it was your house, but
When you said, let me open the window, I was like, do we?
I
Because we
normally
always
don't.
hear all of it. You normally do.
I normally don't have traffic. And who knew
Oh,
there'd be an airplane up there
I
flying
mean,
over my house?
this is how you know it's live here, peeps.
That's right.
Oh. So, when the other thing to know is when our nervous system is off, that means that we are in chronic stress mode. And chronic stress mode can cause all sorts of issues, not just having your cortisol levels being so high, but it can cause chronic illness and stress related illnesses. And sometimes very,
Severe.
gosh, yes, thank you, severe
Uh-huh,
illness.
uh-huh.
So cancers, we're talking, uh, mental challenges, all sorts of things that can just spiral out in your body when your nervous system is on full tilt. So I don't know. Have you ever felt that your nervous system was off or been in a state where you're like, oh my gosh, it's just too much?
Yeah, I'm anxious. I need to just sit down and calm myself. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And as you were saying these things, I thought to myself, we really don't pay attention or enough attention. We are not as aware of our state with our nervous system as we really need to be. Okay. And there have been little things going on in my world that I realize, gosh, that's a big deal. And yes, you can control it to a point. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you can pass over that point too. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, I've felt it. I think that's why I enjoy walking in the woods or being by the water. That just calms me down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you throw in the ADHD, you got a real mess on your hands.
You can.
So I can feel that at times, but I've only recently realized that I'm one of those people. Um,
Well, we walk around, and I just had this conversation last night. Our society, the collective we, have gotten ourselves to a place where we're not present in our day and in our functioning. We're on autopilot. Like we go to work, we pick up the kids, we make the dinner, we did it, and it's just go, 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 go. And we never stop to actually think about what we're doing, let alone how our bodies are responding in
mhm,
those moments. So I don't think you're alone in the fact that you don't know your body and you don't know
uh-huh,
what your body's trying to tell you,
uh-huh,
because we're a society that's disconnected from the natural world, right? We operate on it, not within it.
mhm,
And so we've lost the ability to be present and to be mindful and to understand and know what's going on around us and within
mhm.
us. It's a state, it's a thing.
Yes, it
And
is.
and it's not it's not your fault. I think
Right.
it's just there's no shame in it. It's just the way that things have evolved. And so now we have the ability to step back for a minute and think about, okay, I need to understand what my body is doing so I can understand when it needs help and
Hmm.
when it needs me to change things and when it's overstimulated,
Hmm.
like with our nervous system being off
Hmm.
and that stimulation overload happening. I first I first understood this, well, let's face it, I knew it, but I first recognized it in myself when I got into a state of complete burnout.
Uh-huh.
And I was experiencing all sorts of different illnesses, dehydration, things that were causing my body to be locked up, and I was becoming chronically ill because I was always on full tilt with my stress and my cortisol, and I didn't stop. I just was like, I got to do it. I got to do it. Got to do it. Um, And when you have a moment like that, which I call like a qualifying event, right? Like it's something that really slaps you in the face. Um, you begin to take stock and you begin to start to evaluate, okay, what is happening? Why is it happening? And I realized from the help of my physician to all my studies that my nervous system was way out of whack. And that can happen from stress of life, or it can also be a part of having a neurodiverse system. Like you said, your ADHD. In some cases, overload, overstimulation causes you to have anxiety and be off balance within your nervous system. So how do we get that back is the thing. Like, how do we create calm, and how do we create moments where as anyone can regulate themselves and get themselves back into a state of parasympathetic functioning?
Mm-hmm. Interesting what you've said there. I think sometimes my experience has been you can take that whole idea of the nervous system, and if you're in a job that requires more and more and more, I think sometimes, and maybe this is the ADHD, when that kicks in, you're going, hey, I can do this. I can keep going. I just keep going and going and going. And you don't even think about the fact that you're really not built to be doing something like that. You just get it done, and it doesn't matter. And you're pretty proud of yourself that you got it all done. And that should not be the goal.
No, and I think it's not even, you don't have to have a diagnosis to be that. You just have to be a woman to understand that.
True.
We just keep going and going and going because that's what we've been told we have to do, and we bought in, and now we're like these. I mean, sure, we can do it, but should we do it?
Right.
Like, what's the cost of doing it?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
That's where the cost is our health. The cost is our well-being. And if nothing else I've learned since all of that happened with me is that you have to listen to your body. Your body's telling you when it's too much. Your body is giving you indicators that it's too much. If you're overwhelmed, if you're having anxiety, if you feel like your skin is crawling, if things are breaking down, even if you're bloated and your gut health, you're having IBS, like those are indicators that something's off. And more than likely it's your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So what we want to do is we want to improve on that, right? This is part of the transformation. So we want to lower our stress levels. We want to improve our organ function. Like I was just talking about, our IBS. For women, heart issues are a biggie. We just actually have more heart issues than men, which is, it's because we're so lovey.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Science there.
Yeah.
Science. But we want to help our bodies rest and repair. And that's something that we don't do enough of.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned walking in the woods and being outside in nature and how calming that is. That's a given. That is a prescription that we receive from this earth. Like, if you want to feel better, for sure, nature is the way to begin. Like, you can like get out there and just sit and be. But that's hard for people because not everybody has or wants to allocate the time to do that. And not everyone has the capabilities to quiet that quickly and just be in a place. Would you agree?
Oh, yes. You were talking about people not taking the time to do that. Well, I am at the point, one of my great loves of where I live is stepping out on my back patio. I've got all this greenery. I have too many trees and too many bushes, and it's private. And I feed the birds, and they're singing away. In fact, one day I was on the phone with a salesperson. I was checking on an order, and she said, "Oh, it sounds beautiful. Where are you at?" And I said, "In my backyard." And she said, "What is all the birds? I hear birds singing." And I said, "You can hear that?" Anyway, I love that. And the minute I step out there, I'm captured. It's just like I don't want to go back in and do anything. I may read out there and do some puzzle or Sudoku, stuff like that. And I find myself just not wanting to go back in because it is so peaceful. And then I'll prop my feet up on another chair or on a table or something, and it's like, this is the life. And I would much rather be doing that than running around shopping or anything else. So I can see my life developing more and more that way, and enjoying the beauty, the nature, and slowing myself down and thinking and praying. I've got a little devotional book that I'm kind of into right now that it's good. So I spend that kind of time out there.
Well, and spending that kind of time and taking moments to just listen and appreciate, and then, like you said, do a devotional practice, a prayer practice, a meditation. All of that is part of regulating your nervous system. And that regulation helps to calm and ease and put you in a state of well-being that you don't want to be without. So
That's right.
It's a wonder you want to leave that place, or you don't want to leave it.
Yeah.
Because it's doing exactly what we need to do for ourselves every day.
Yes, in our homes, having that sanctuary, that dwelling area.
Yes, that's what I do is take that feeling that you have when you're in nature and bring that inside, because we spend so much time indoors that if you don't feel like that in your home, if your home isn't a place for like solace and calm and regulation, then it's off. It's your environment isn't responding or supporting the way that you need so that you can live well. And that is super important. It's I mean, I don't want to get on a soapbox and talk about it, but it's one of the 8 dimensions of wellness. And if that's off, if your home is off, if your environment that you're in every day is off, then that is a direct cause and effect of everything else being a little bit off.
Yeah. Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, we need that. We need that space of regulation and rest and repair. Just like you need sleep in a good environment that helps you actually really deeply sleep and for a good amount of time. Because that rest and repair that happens when you're sleeping in a good space is necessary for functioning properly. So we don't get sick, and so that our bodies are working optimally, and so many things. Anyway, okay. So I think regulation is the transformative moment there. Like figuring out ways that you can get yourself calm, get yourself to a place of ease, of out of anxiety, out of the panic, out of all of it. And for certain people, they need a lot of movement, or certain people need a calming space. So it's unique for everyone. So while being outside in nature, listening to the birds for you is like super calming, like quickly calms, that may not work for someone else who's a little more keyed up and on all the time. So there's different things you can do. And the repercussions of being regulated are lowering your blood pressure, helping your pulse rate to lower to a calm state. That then in turn lowers your cortisol. It in turn balances your sugar levels are at an optimal level. That changes your inflammation in your body. It's just a ripple effect. So what can we do? So we have tried two things that I want to talk about. One is the rebounder. So what do you know about a rebounder?
I have one in my garage, and I inherited that from a grandson.
Oh.
They run out of space in their bedrooms and house. Um, but it does make a difference, especially if you tend to be more keyed up. Getting on that and just bouncing just a little bit will help a person with a condition that where they need that activity and kind of bring them back down. You would think maybe it'd be just the opposite, but it does bring them back down.
When we talk about a rebounder, just so everybody's clear, rebounder is a mini trampoline. And I think it was in the 80s that they got really popular, like with workout, the cardio workouts that people started doing it. Do you remember that?
I remember as far back as in the 60s, it became they would have, they didn't consider them rebounders. They considered it fun for kids. So there was actually a business in Anderson. My father knew the owner. They designed it out where there had been like just land, barren land. They dug a big ditch in the area, maybe just a few feet deep. But then they had applied all these rectangular pieces of rubber that were considered the trampolines, and they called them trampolines then. Probably got that from the circus or something. But they must have had a dozen of those things, and kids would come, and it was all fenced in, and they would charge the kids to get out there and play for a while. And they were all just bouncing up and down, dozens of children out there bouncing up and down. And of course, that was one of my favorite things to do.
Sure.
So in the 60s, I was a teenager, and it was a fun place to go. And we did. The fun wore off, and, it's that sort of thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
they now have that indoor trampoline play, Sky Zone, where you take your kids for like parties or an afternoon or whatever, and you just bounce around on trampolines everywhere.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So it's back. But what you're talking about is regulating kids, like getting them out, getting wiggles out.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, they can't settle down, so throw them on a trampoline. It's the same kind of thing for adults or kids. Like you can't settle your mind, so you get on a trampoline. And this bouncing is just wonderful things for you. There's improving your balance and your strength. So you're getting that as you're navigating the trampoline. It is stimulating that entire lymphatic system in your body. So the lymphatic system, we want it to drain, and it's great for that. It's great for lymphatic drainage. But it's also good for increasing our heart rate. Like you said, it can do the opposite of calming us. It can actually like help us give a good workout. Mm-hmm. So you've got a lot of different things that is a positive of using a rebounder, and it gets your circulation going. There's just like so many things that it'll do, and as you age, it helps your muscles stay strong. It helps with bone health. I mean, there's just so many things, your joints. I mean, just everything. As in with everything, you need to start slow. But if you're just doing it to regulate the nervous system, just a simple bounce, like just a slow bounce on the rebounder can really help you to kind of get back in the moment, be present, kind of get your scattered thoughts all back into like where you are. And that's mainly what it's good for when you're all over the place and your nervous system is dysregulated. It's like getting you back to center, bringing it back to center, as they say in yoga. So we've been using the rebounder for quite some time, and it does take up space in your house. It's not small.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-foot circle there. But it is something that both myself and Travis, we get on there and just bounce. If I'm having a moment where I'm feeling scattered or I can't get, I just can't get like
Focused.
in, yeah, focused or into what I'm trying to do that day, I just get on there and bounce for a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
Uh-huh.
And it's super fun if you wanted to use it as like a workout. I've done that too, where I've turned on some music and just danced on it, because you're not hurting your knees and your feet and everything from being on the hard floor.
Right.
You can
Right.
just dance on there, and it's really easy,
Uh-huh.
and it's good cardio workout.
Uh-huh.
But for regulation, it's just an easy going slow bounce works for me. I've seen Travis almost touch the ceiling when he gets on there, and
I
I'm
can
like, it's not.
imagine.
I was like, it's not a huge trampoline. You can't
Yeah.
do that. Oh, so crazy. But yeah, it is one of those things where I think that um, it's one of those gadgets that people are often like, or like you said, it ends up in the garage or it ends up in a closet, or you just don't utilize it. But if you're in the need of a little like moment of getting back to center, it is a really great tool for that.
Mm-hmm.
So another tool that we've been using is called a vibrational plate. And this is the one I think that you wanted to talk about the most, because
Mm-hmm.
it's one that a friend of yours has.
Mm-hmm.
And I got turned on to it from a friend of mine who uses it for her. Well, she uses it, but her son uses it before school and while he's doing his homework and before he goes out to play baseball on his baseball league, because they're in a really high level league. I don't even know, kids.
Wow.
But it helps him keep focus, and it helps him to regulate and not be overwhelmed, and to prepare for a long day, or to sit down and do homework, focus on homework. It has been really working wonders for them. And so then she was doing it, and now their whole family uses it, and she shared that with me, and now we use it. It's just this funky little tool, that health tool, that I was like, you wouldn't think this would work, but it really works. So the premise is there is a plate. It looks like a mini surfboard, mini skateboard kind of thing. And you put your feet on it, and you can sit and use it, or you can stand on it, but it vibrates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's vibrating back and forth, side to side. And you can intensify the vibration. You can keep it low. You can, like I said, stand up on it, do workout on it, which helps improve your balance. But there's a whole myriad of things that you can use this vibrational plate for. But why you use it is the fascinating thing to me. So it sends rapid energy waves through your body. And that forces your muscles to contract and relax. So it is a massive relaxation tool that you wouldn't think that vibration alone could do that. But I look at it and explain it to people this way. You know, when you have a baby who won't stop crying and is in distress, and you cannot understand what is wrong, but then you put them in a car and they go right to sleep. The vibration is what's calming them. It's not the car itself. It's not the noise. It's not any of that. It's the vibration. And so when you need a little calm, you need a little, like, you're crying inside, you just don't know what to do, get on a vibrational plate. And I've used it a good amount. I mean, I think Travis uses it every day when he comes home, just to kind of rest and like get into a state of relaxation from his day. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm unable to focus again. Let me get on the vibrational plate, and it really works. It's so wild. Did you try your friends? Did you try it?
Yes, and it's so slight. The vibration, at least she has the control set low, I guess. And yet, I didn't stay on it for a long period of time, but I thought, and this works. This helps with some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to be curious about it. I guess even listening to what you've been sharing, is there a point where that would be too much for our nervous system? Or does that vibration just kind of meld into?
I think it's just like grounding, right? When you're doing something good for your body, I
Okay,
don't think you can do too much of it.
okay.
Well, and let me back that up. I think you have to understand your body and what the condition it's in now.
Mm-hmm.
And as with anything, you should always consult your physician, because they may know something about your muscle condition, your joint condition, that you really don't grasp.
Uh-huh.
And it may, like when I first used the vibrational plate, my knees, from running back in the day, have always been funky. And they get better when I'm treating my body well. They don't cause me any issue. I'm good. Like things are functioning properly. But I noticed the first couple times I used a vibrational plate, I didn't have my legs planted properly and it was jostling my knee so much.
Oh,
So on the plate itself, there's like, put your feet in the middle. That's the least amount of movement. When you spread them out to the outside of the plate, it's more movement.
okay.
So I was jostling my knees too much, and my right knee was very sore. So I just learned that, okay, for me and my body, this is what I need. So I would say always consult. I would say that about everything. Consult with your physician,
Well, true.
because
That's true.
that's what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, you have to know your body. So like, I don't stand up on it. I wouldn't recommend you stand on it. I would recommend you sit and just put your feet on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When you stand up on it, you need more balance. You need to be stronger. You need to be able to be agile on your feet. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
not that on just walking down the street, then you're not going to be that on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So start slow, start seated. And they recommend that when they ship you the board, they say, start in the seat. Don't just stand up on this thing and think you understand it, because you really got to know how your body's responding to it. And you got to make sure that you're not going to cause yourself harm or,
Right.
heaven forbid, fall, right? That's the
Right.
last thing you want to
Right.
do on any of
Right.
these things. I mean, the rebounder has a little thing you can hold your hand on and bounce on while being steadied. The vibrational plate does not. So that's why they encourage you to start on a chair.
Uh-huh.
But as you use it, the more you use it, the more your muscles will be activated, the
Uh-huh.
more your blood flow is increased, the more your balance and agility takes a hold. So it really conditions you. And I would say it's more about your overall energy and the regulation of the system.
Okay. Okay. That helped me to understand.
Okay. Yeah. There are a lot of other ways to regulate. Like you said, walk in nature, just organizing your bookshelf can be
Right.
regulating.
That's right.
Like having things in order,
Yeah.
eliminating chaos and clutter in your home can help
Mm-hmm.
you regulate. Music can help you regulate. Reading can help you regulate. So you just need to find the tool that works best for what your need is, and just try things out. But as far as tools go, these external tools, besides, I mean, you can pick up a book and listen to music at any time, right?
Right.
But these are specific to regulating your system and getting you back to a space of calm and rest.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried anything else besides the rebounder and the vibrational plate?
No, I have not. Those are all kind of new to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, chai tea. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Not chai tea.
Tai Chi. Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, that chai tea. No, tea.
Tai Chi. Tai
Thank you.
Chi.
That helps me, believe it or not. That slowing and the motion and
Yeah.
relaxation. That's really great.
It really is great for you. I I put together for myself because I recognized that I was really stressed last fall, and I got myself into a chronic stress space again. And you'd think that once you'd been through it, you would be able to recognize it early and be like, "Oh my gosh, stop!" But no, no, I went full bore right on in.
Uh,
And when I realized that, was when I started to see my stress response things come into play again.
okay.
So I was like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. Let me take a step back. And so at that point, I'm like, I need to balance my nervous system. I need to get back into a place of just
Yes.
being and
Yes.
not letting things take hold,
Mhm.
which there's always going to be stress, and there's always going to be something that is going to disrupt your calm.
Right.
But it's in the response that you have and in the tools that you have then to activate on that, where you find your help.
The help.
And so I created a neurobalance plan. And my goal was to restore the nervous system and reduce that protective shutdown. So your body does what is called a protective shutdown when your stress is off the charts. And then I wanted to promote like an overall resilience to just my life and be able to bounce back easier.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is Tai Chi. So I've been learning different Tai Chi moves to do as part of this plan. And I do them usually in the afternoon. I have like a morning and an afternoon and an evening kind of plan put together. But I think it's really cool to look at it because I've been trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, which has a lot of tools for regulation and a lot of tools for creating calm and getting back into yourself and be authentically aligned. So I have that advantage to know those things, but I also have in my former life I've done a lot of yoga.
Yes, yes.
And studied with a really great yogi, and so I have all of that in my background in my toolkit, as they say. But I needed a little bit something more, and Tai Chi offers that kind of like slow, intentional balance. For lack of any other term, it literally is about. It's not fast paced, and it's not about building muscle, and
Right.
it's not, although it does build muscle and it does do stuff, it does it with slow movement and
Yes.
intentional and like using energy to create the ball and move the ball and serve it up to people. I mean, there's all these things. So I'm glad you brought that up because it is really good for helping to regulate the nervous system.
I can see that.
Yeah. The plan that I put together has like a different focus for each day. So I'll just kind of give you guys that, and then maybe you can create something on your own that works for you. But we started the week with grounding and awareness. Day 2, somatic, gentle breathing. And then day 3 is that vagus nerve activation. Day 4, mindful movement and play. Connection and co-regulation. Day 6 is like nature and your nervous system resets. And then day 7, the final day, integrating all that you've gone through, and then self-compassion, showing yourself a little grace. And then this is, I think, one of the things that we don't do enough is to sit down and create a short plan for how you're going to maintain this neurobalance, how you're going to practice this throughout your life, because it's not, I think we've been sold a bill of goods that this is like a one-hit wonder, right? You're going to you're going to do this thing and you're going to be set.
Yeah.
But it's how do we incorporate it into our lives? How do we make it the lifestyle that we live, that we are always thinking about, okay, I've had this happen, but now how am I going to regulate? How am I going to bring it back? What's it going to be? So therein becomes, you're creating a life of well-being, and you're just using, balance. You're using the tools and things that you know to make that happen. Yeah.
Great.
Well, hopefully this helps in like just thinking about, is my nervous system off?
Absolutely.
If that's all you can do from this conversation, then that's a win, right? Because we don't take the time to think about our bodies and our minds and if they're in alignment.
No, we don't. We don't give time to the important things in our world, really.
No, unfortunately, we don't. But hopefully within this last 50 minutes, you've been able to take a little time and think about yourself and think about, do I do these things? Do I want to do these things? Can this possibly help me transform my life?
Very good. Thank you.
Any last thoughts?
I would like to know the brand name of the plate that you have, that you guys use for the.
I can send you that.
Okay, that would be great.
And I'll put it in the podcast notes.
Okay.
Too, so people can see the rebounder and the vibrational plate.
Okay.
Obviously, we are not sponsored by either one of those companies. So if you'd like to sponsor, let
Absolutely.
us know. Be great. Throw a little money at us. No,
that's right.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I can share that out. Because I think it's when you have the proper tools, you need, like we talked about last time, you got to go to the OG. You got to go to the one that like has been doing it for a long time.
That's so true.
So yeah, I can share those.
Okay, very good.
All right. Well, my final thought is take a moment. Take a moment. If all you can do is breathe and think about, wow, am I rapid firing? Am I autopilot rapid fire through my days? Or am I actually connected to myself?
Right.
That's all my wish for you is today.
It's wonderful.
All right. Until next time, people. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again next time for Things Mom Never Said, Secrets to Aging Well. We'll be back, so set your calendars, set your alarms, get ready, get set, follow, subscribe, and don't miss a beat.